It is time for another mid Dota 2 tier list. We're in 7.34E. So much has changed. They put like 5 mana on Primal Beast W. Really gonna have to move the list around. We're gonna just go through these alphabetically. Some of these just aren't mid heroes anymore. Maybe they were in the past. We're gonna try to keep this list small, concise, accurate, and open for interpretation. Those are all the buzzwords I could think of. Bat Rider, you pick this hero if you hate yourself. That's for sure. We'll throw in like the specialist heroes here as we see them early. I think you also pick Death Prophet mid if you hate yourself, because no one's even picking Ember Spirit anymore, and that's like the only one. Leshrac, probably pick if game is good, but I actually don't believe in Leshrac that much right now. I feel like the buffs to Maelstrom and Radiance against Illusions, like, it just feels easier to just have a hero buy Mjolnir or Radiance or Shiva's. Like, the Illusions don't feel like a big deal. And they always have some Mage Slayer timing eventually, the Illusion heroes, and they're really tinky. I don't think Wisp is very good. Pugna's still okay. Maybe Treant with Lesh. I saw some people try him as support with the Lightning buff, but I just don't think the hero is that good, but I think it's fine if the game is good. Yeah, a lot of mids need to enable the offlaner and the carry to get the farm for like 15 to 20 minutes. This is also, I don't want it to just be about like super high MMR. Like, granted, all my experience is playing like 9k MMR pubs, slash like losing every game in the qualifier that happened recently. So it is going to have some like high MMR bias. Like, I'm not going to put Sniper very high. You know, like, if you're in Guardian or Herald, Sniper's probably, like, the strongest hero you've ever seen. It's probably equivalent to drawing Exodia and Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it's just over, you see a Sniper. But I will, like, try to talk about a lot of stuff. So, Dragon Knight, pick if you hate yourself. That hero sucks balls. I think Invoker is either A or B tier. I haven't been playing it too much, so I'm just going to put it in B tier. Currently, there's 2 mid heroes I like to play if they have a lot of healing. Earth Spirit and Invoker, because you can buy the Vessel. I think Earth Spirit also got nerfed a lot. I mean, generally the mid's job is, in modern day Dota, is to buy a really cheap, cost-effective item and to rotate with the supports. So like Blade Mail for the strength heroes, sometimes a Vessel, Witchblade on some heroes, even just like Treads and a Falcon Blade on Storm is usually enough to get going. And both the side lanes just want to hit all the extra neutral camps for a while and get a power spike. So like back in the olden days of Dota, you know, when we pushed wheel and carts up the high ground, uphill both ways, the mid can farm Ancients a lot more, like TA or even a Sniper or something, or Medusa. That's just not going to happen anymore. Like TA can maybe get last picked. And the Ancient camps are honestly reserved for the offlaner most of the time, or the carry. Like the TA carry is much more picked than mid TA, for example. So you want to just be like doing shit on the map without falling behind in farm, so that you're kind of like a smokescreen for your other cores farming. You don't want to play sacrificial, you need to scale, but you want to be like very active. Let's see, I don't see any other mid heroes. Zeus, I think I'll put him in B tier. I've been playing a lot of Zeus. I think he has some versatility. Another hero I like against illusion heroes, if you want to go Mantha Shard build, or even just having the 20 talent for, like, basically when I play Zeus, if they have a bunch of escape heroes, I go the stun talent with Aghanims, and if they have illusion heroes, I like getting the percent health damage talent at 20 instead, and maybe playing with Mantha Shard if it's like, okay, Mantha Shard game, or just Octarine Core spamming the tanky heroes down. Next, Lina. I've been playing a lot of Lina. I think if you're playing pubs, this hero is A tier. In competitive play, it's closer to C tier. This is going to be for pubs mostly, so I think that Lina, the main benefit to Lina, and so this applies for all MMRs, is your laning phase will be very easy. I don't think there's a single hero in Dota you pick against Lina and you're like, this Lina is going to get dumped. I think 3 of the 5 Lina games I played in the past 2 days, the enemy mid was level 4 and I was level 7. The hero plays itself in lane. It was always very strong in lane. They recently buffed the Dragon Slave to do bonus like dot damage. Nobody can lane against you. You attack 3 times as fast as them. I'm putting it above Zeus, even though I feel like they kind of fit the same role of like just magic damage from far away, burst potential, simply because Lina can win the lane and Zeus can't. sometimes you're just gonna win a Dota game because you win your lane so hard in the first 5 minutes, the enemy team gets depressed and goes AFK. So that's enough to bump it up a tier. What else do we got here? Puck. I think Puck is somewhere between A and B. By the time I do my next tier list, I'll know. This hero became a lot more versatile recently, so you can go Maelstrom, Shard, Axe, and deal with illusions. People have also been going Diffusal with the Shard and playing kind of like a weird Pangolier type of thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it because you get a Disperser later. But quite good against laning against like Dazzle and Lina. Like, you're not going to beat them in lane, but you should get out of the lane okay with Phase Shift. And pretty good against all the meta heroes, honestly. Just like pretty strong. That hero's definitely gone up a lot since the last tier list. Queen, I'm gonna bump Queen down to C. I think it has nothing to do with how strong the hero is. So if you're in lower MMR, Queen probably goes up a lot higher in the tier list for you. I just feel like the amount of heroes you want to lane against in the current meta are like one or two. Like, you don't really want to lane Kunkka. It's okay for you. You don't want to lane Invoker. You don't want to lane Puck. You don't want to lane Lina. You don't want to lane Dazzle. I don't think. You don't want to lane Huskar. Like, I just don't see many lanes swapped as good in. There's not as many like Void Spirits. I have Zeus kind of up there, but there's not many people playing it in my games at least. Like, there just isn't enough lanes that you could pick blind and like be like, okay, I'm gonna have a good game. Every time someone first picks Quap or second phases Quap and I have last pick, the game's like over for the other team. They just lose in 5 minutes. So I feel like the meta heroes just kind of bumped her out of the list. That being said, if you're playing against like Storm Spirits and stuff, you're gonna have a good time. Dazzle, I think A tier. Nobody can lane against this hero. It's stupid. Don't know why it's still in Dota. Fuck this hero. Nothing else much to say. He's purple Huskar. Ember Spirit, you pick for fun. Storm Spirit, you pick for fun. Storm might honestly be C tier. Storm is C tier. It's better than Ember Spirit, that's for sure. But you pick it for fun. It's very close to pick if you hate yourself. It's definitely not a good one anymore. Caudle, I think, is another hero that you can have in your list. Like, some games are really good for Caudle. I would advise picking other heroes, but that's another like vessel buyer hero. Like, if you don't want to play Invoker or Earth Spirits, you could pick Caudle. So I would honestly pick the other two before this one, but Caudle is like a pretty good hero, honestly. Pangolier, I think this hero is B tier, maybe C tier. The nerfs are catching up to this hero a lot, and you have a better job of laning against like Lina and Dazzle than some of the other heroes like Storm, but you're still not going to have a good time. You're not going to have fun. Primal Beast, I think, is very bottom of B or very top of C tier. Honestly, I have more success on this hero in the off lane. I think that there's a lot of lane dominator heroes. Like, you have to last pick this. If anything, the way I've won games on this hero versus lost games is I pick it second phase, like a counterpicked lane, have a bad start. Whereas, like, that's honestly fine if you have Grimstroke on your team. If you have Grimstroke on your team, you can pick it no matter what. Pretty much A tier hero if you have Grimstroke on your team. If you don't have Grimstroke on your team and they have like Dazzle or Huskar or something, your lane's just going to suck and you're not going to have someone to combo with to catch up. I think the nerfs like kind of hurt his roaming playstyle a bit too with the mana costs. Necro, I think, is A tier. I think you pick this hero pretty much every game. You might run into some issues if you second phase it. I think you'll be fine if you're good at the hero, but Lina or maybe even Dazzle could be a hard lane, I think. Really isn't too much to talk about. I think the hero is just very good. The Shard feels great. Heart Ags build feels great. If they have a Vessel hero, you buy Yules, you Rush Travels. How to counter Lone Druid mid, you usually just have to hit the bear, and there really isn't like, you have to gank him. Like, call for help. The hero does nothing against 3 heroes. I don't think there's many heroes. I mean, you could pick Shadow Fiend and try to kill his bear, but it's kind of cheesy. You're kind of answering your own question, right? Like, is there a hero that can fight 2 heroes at once by itself in the mid lane? Probably not. Like, Lone Druid is literally 2 heroes. You just gank him. especially if they get greedy and don't skill ult. Um, I don't know where to put Lone Druid. I think I think he's just very situational mid, honestly. Like I don't know what it would feel like to play Lone Druid versus Necro, Dazzle, or Lina. Like really, I know it'd feel great if you were laning against a Spirit hero that don't really get picked. It'd probably feel fine against Puck or Pango. I just don't see too many lane matchups where you're just gonna 1v5 the game and not like just get ganked over and over again in high rank. Pugna? I don't think Pugna's a mid hero. That hero's mid if your name's Thompson, and otherwise it's not. Um, I think OD is bottom of C tier. You pick this hero if they have Kunkka. Otherwise, pick anything else. And if they have Kunkka, there's like 4 other heroes higher on the list that are better. Shadow Fiend, pick for fun. There's not too much to elaborate on there. Shadow Fiend would go up 3 tiers if Ember Spirit was in every game again, like last year. A lot of the tier list is just based on the meta. If you see a lot of Ember Spirits and Storm Spirits in your game still, Shadow Fiend goes up to like A tier. So it's about mostly what you're playing against. From my experience, the most popular heroes are the ones near the top, and Shadow Fiend just doesn't do very well against them. And like this hero doesn't really fit the meta either. Like the playstyle, you don't make space for your team. You kind of just farm. Like the way Shadow Fiend helps your other cores stay in their lane farming is he dumpsters their mid. So like there's a level 5 Ember Spirit at 7 minutes and he can't rotate. If you're not doing that, your team's just going to get ran over while you're hitting neutrals. Templar Assassin, I think because Puck is picked and like maybe Zeus, maybe Evoker, like there's like 3 matchups I would maybe pick this hero in. So like you probably pick it if the game is good. Honestly, just a better carry hero. I wouldn't pick it. I beat a TA mid today as Zeus. I didn't win the lane, but like it didn't feel like TA was taking over the game the same way a carry TA would. Wind Ranger? Okay, we can do Wind Ranger real quick. There you go. Not quite pick if you hate yourself, but not a good hero currently. You're not going to be like griefing the game if you pick it a lot of the time, as long as you do okay in your lane, but you're not going to be like the reason you win most of the time. I think Ricky's unplayable. I think you pick Ricky if you hate yourself right now. Like have fun laning against every like Huskar of the rainbow. Huskar split into the Power Rangers. You have orange Huskar, purple Huskar, green Huskar. We haven't even got Huskar up here, but there's at least 5 Huskars. And when I was having a lot of success playing Ricky mid like 6 months ago, as long as I didn't lane Huskar, I would win the game for my team. Now there's like 5 Huskars, so the likelihood of me laning a Huskar goes up by like 500%. I'm not picking this hero. Chen mid, I have no idea. Like maybe if you're that one guy who spams it every game. There you go. I think Void Spirit's actually gone up a bit, so he's pickable now. You have to be really good at Void Spirit, though. You have to see that they have Puck or Lina, Pango, or Invoker. Like, those 4 heroes, you have to see they have those and be very good at the hero. Like, it feels great if you can skip 10 minutes against Lina because she's got 800 HP and you're just going to jump on her twice and she's going to die, no matter what. If you are level 4 and she's level 10, you're not going to do anything in the game because the lane is still very hard. The same kind of way, like, Puck plays against Lina, like, as long as you don't lose the lane really hard, Lina can't play Dota in the mid-game. How the fuck is Dazzle Huskar? You press Q on them and they can't go to the creep wave for 30 seconds. Same way Burning Spears works. Lina is the same thing. You press Q on them, they can't go to the lane anymore. Kunkka, I think... I don't know. I think it went down to B. I think the nerfs actually kind of matter a bit. You love to lane against like some of the heroes on the list, but you do get Huskard like a lot. Like, it's better with last pick. It's still fine without last pick. It's not like the worst. Like I'd rather be Kunkka versus Dazzle or Necro or Lina than some of the other heroes on the list. But I'm not happy about it. Like I'd rather be Kunkka than like Queen of Pain versus like a Necro or Lina or something. Like at least you scale into the mid game stronger with your Aghanim signing, your boats. Earth Spirit, I think, pick of good game. I think it was like A or S tier last patch. The biggest nerf to Earth Spirit's like rolling thing that I didn't think about when I read the patch notes is you used to be able to roll on someone from max range They get stunned for like 1.8 seconds. If they channel a TP, your W comes up fast enough. And now it like doesn't almost no matter what. I think if you're literally in melee range and you use a rock to get the double stun time, you can chain stun them off a TP. So if you initiate on someone with a roll and ult for a solo kill, they can always TP out unless you have a Euls or something. So it's actually much worse than before. Hero's still good if you need a Vessel or whatever. Like, I think it's better than Caudle for the most part. But Invoker's probably the best Vessel hero mid right now. Tiny, you can pick for fun. I think the mana cost change is like a very positive change. It's just hard to get out of the lane still, but it is like a positive thing. I think it used to be pick if you hate yourself. Tinker, hero specialist stuff, like, it's not for everybody. Oh, I think Mag is okay. Mag is like either hero specialist or good game. You don't have to be too good at Mag anymore with Harpoon and the way the Q works, but Earthshaker, I think like you have to like. I think you pick Earthshaker if you're playing for fun. It could maybe be up here if every single game is against Ember Spirit. If you're against Ember Spirit, you're S tier. It's also fine against Primal and potentially Pango, but like honestly, those heroes are very underpicked. If you pick this hero second phase, the game's over for you. You're going to be a support Earthshaker. So I think it's like very close to D or C. I'm just going to put it in D. Meepo, you can put it here. I think Meepo's a terrible hero and you shouldn't pick it ever. Like, honestly, it should be an F tier. Like, you pick it if you hate yourself. We're going to put Sniper in the... You know what? We need a new one. Stronger the lower MMR the game is. We're going to throw in the classics, okay? Oh yeah, we forgot about Huskar. I think Huskar is like top of B tier. He's actually the lowest power level Huskar of the 4 Huskars currently. The 4 headless Huskars. So we'll put in all of the Herald Stompers. Because you guys love these ones. I think there's one more. We could even throw in Viper in there, honestly. There might be one more and I'm forgetting about it. I'm not going to include Monkey King this time. I think it's been like picked like 1 out of 1,000 games. Now, if you look yourself in the mirror and you're a Herald, there's nothing wrong with it. Pick Sniper, you're probably going to win if you get somewhat okay at using your right mouse button. Alright? There's nothing wrong with accepting who you are and looking in the mirror directly into your soul. However, at the highest level of gameplay, Sniper is like terrible. You have to see your lane and then play like some sort of fucking hell simulator where you're getting ganked for 90 minutes straight. Who's S tier? I don't think there's a single S tier mid. Like, I think I might just leave it empty. It's a good question. I think that mid heroes have gotten nerfed over and over again for the past year and a half. And that's just kind of where we've landed. I don't even think Alina's all, like, for competitive play, my list would change a lot. A lot of the best mid heroes right now in pubs, in my eyes, are just the ones that auto win the lane. Like Lina, Orange Huskar, Purple Huskar, Green Huskar, and Huskar are the top of the list just because they pretty much auto win their lane. Now, in competitive play, these heroes get banned a lot, and people pick stuff like Primal Beast, Kunkka, Invoker, like the roaming heroes that actually control the game and the pace. Rubik, Pugna Silencer, those aren't mid heroes. And honestly, those heroes are worse the lower your MMR is, so there's no point in including them in the bottom tier either. But yeah, I don't think there's much else I would change about this list currently. I don't feel like any of them, like none of the mid heroes feel like I'm playing Treant Protector or Chaos Knight last patch. Like, none of them feel like I'm cheating. Yeah, Brood mid's been dead for a long time. It's more of an offlane thing. Lundred's in the middle. Batrider, yeah, so exactly why I put that immediately. There's the first hero I put on the list. You pick Batrider if you hate yourself. I think everyone should love themselves, should feel great about who you are. You know, if you're Herald, pick yourself some Sniper mid, maybe try a little Bounty Hunter mid. You know, a little Bounty Hunter action. Clock, Slardar, and Clinks. Maybe that's Europe shit. I haven't played Europe. I've seen one Slardar mid, he built a Phylactery today and we lost, but I don't think I had anything to do with him. Usually an S tier mid hero in my eyes, just to give you guys an idea, is like something like Ember Spirit at his peak last year or so, where the enemy team picks like Necro mid versus your Ember, and he still goes 20-0. Like something that's just like good in every single game, Gets lane countered, can still recover and catch up. High tempo, so like can roam early and control the map. Zeus is great. I've won a lot of games on Zeus. Okay, guys, we can't put more heroes. Like, we're fine. If one guy plays Slardar, he can tell me about the hero. I've never seen it, so. Well, DP did get nerfed, and DP, like, a lot of how these tier lists work is your hero goes up, like, 4 tiers if you counter all the meta heroes in lane. So when Ember Spirit was in every single game, like, literally 3 or 4 months ago, maybe longer now, maybe 5 months ago, everyone was picking Earthshaker, everyone was picking DP, Necrophos, Huskar, and then you would just try your best to, like, hopefully not have Ember Spirit go 30-0 on the other team. Ember Spirit will go 0-30 if you just leave him alone this patch. Like, if you just, like, you'll lose lane to Ember Spirit and you'll still win the game. So, just not too much to worry about in that regard. You don't need to pick Death Prophet. Klink's mid, don't pick Klink's mid. Tuskar's not a mid hero. Omni's not a mid hero. Those heroes, like, Tuskar is just a shitty version of other mid heroes now because they power crept the game so much with universal heroes. You don't need to pick like a mid strength hero that has like a stun and a physical burst because you can pick universal heroes like Void Spirit that do the same thing. Omni Knight is only good mid versus Ember Spirit. And like we talked about, Ember Spirit's unplayably bad. Like, it's almost F tier. You can still, it's still a fun hero. Like, the only reason he escapes F tier is because he's fun to play. Like, you really have to hate yourself to pick Dragon Knight right now. I think Captain's Mode is different. I think in Captain's Mode, you can pick Shaker and ban all the bullshit. Like, ranked matchmaking, you're going to pick Earthshaker, blind, last pick. They're going to pick Dazzle, and you're going to go AFK. No mid-Mars. Yeah. I think that's it for the tier list. I don't want to drag on too much. Thanks for watching.